Dooperos y Tuperas today on Doop by the River. It is a special edition Doop by the River. We will be having on Philadelphia Union midfielder Leon Flach in this special edition. So don't you dare go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. You know, in this episode of Doop by the River. Let's get started, guys. Done!
Doop by the River
doesn't do anything well. There is not one.
I'm sorry. There was no creativity.
As a Union fan, I take that all day.
Another DP. We need to go get Mario Balotelli. And that is right. Welcome, everyone, to Doop by the River, the show where we follow everything Philadelphia Union. And, of course, we are brought to you by Philly Sports Network. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the special edition of Doop by the River. Later on, we are going to have Leon Flach, your favorite shuttle midfielder. The German sweetheart from Humble, Texas, as humble as can be. So make sure you guys stay tuned. We'll have that in the show. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, we have our experts in duping, Tim Lovinguth, with the beautiful 94 kit. Now, although I do have my Andres Escobar, which is very ironic. We did not plan this, ladies and gentlemen.
No, we didn't plan this. That's kind of perfect, though.
How you feeling, Tim? What's going on?
I mean, I'm feeling great. We got U.S. men's national team later tonight. I mean, we'll talk a little bit about that before our boy Leon gets on here. But I mean, it's exciting time for the U.S. men's national team. They're, barring a 6-goal loss, going to qualify for the World Cup. So
I'm hearing a lot about this.
Yeah, just don't lose by 6. That's all I got to say about that. And then we get to talk to Leon Flach tonight on the podcast. Dude. I'm interested to pick his brain on a few things and see what he has to say. And I know Justin has some fun questions queued up for him too. So it's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys make sure to stay tuned for that. Maybe, hey, Tim, maybe some USMNT talk with Leon. He dabbled a little bit.
I might have had 1 or 2 questions.
What about you, Justin? What's going on, my brother? The Sporting Serotonin #1 goalkeeper. He's your favorite goalkeeper, and then it's Andre Blake. What's up, Justin?
I'm doing pretty good. It's crazy that we're gonna get to talk some USMNT, and then we're gonna get to pick Leon's brain. That the little engine that could of the Union midfield, the man who covers the most distance, on the entire roster by a country mile and then some.
Absolutely, man.
It's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the beauty of Doop by the River is not only we're going to get players on the pod today, but we're also going to be able to break some breaking news, some breaking transfer news. So, ladies and gentlemen, on a loan deal, on a 8-month loan deal, El Parcero Philly is now going to be a USMNT fan. Because, of course, as we all know, Colombia, who could not score to save their lives in World Cup qualifications, were eliminated by the hands of Peru. And now I will never hear the end of it, Orlando City fans, of Pedro Gais say this, Pedro Gais say that. So I digress with that. And go USA. All right.
Oh, you're going to play in a little tournament down in Qatar?
I think that's what's going on.
Rais and Boli isn't, because Algeria got knocked out.
So. Gotta love it.
Justin was definitely celebrating that one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, of course. Well, in my first debut here with the USMNT, as a honorary fan, I guess you could say. Obviously, tonight World Cup qualifications, as Tim just alluded to, USA in Costa Rica, facing off against Costa Rica here. I'm going to throw this to you guys. I'm ready to learn. I'm going to be a sponge here. I'm going to learn everything that I have been missing since the 2010 World Cup with the U.S. men's national team. What can we expect here tonight, gentlemen, against Costa Rica? Tim, take it away, brother.
I mean, honestly, this is going to be probably one of the tougher matches that the U.S. has played in, even with the stakes kind of being taken out of their hands a little bit here. U.S. has never won in Costa Rica in World Cup qualifying at I can't remember the name of their stadium, but it's a tough place to play. And yeah, I mean, I know this U.S. men's national team and Greg Berhalter, the coach, has said a lot, like, we want to make history. We obviously want to get back to the World Cup, but in World Cup qualifying, we want to try to go out there and win at the places that we've never won before. And obviously they fell a little short in Mexico last week. They wanted to be the first U.S. team to win a qualifier in Mexico. Christian Pulisic probably should have scored. Jordan Pefok probably should have scored. They didn't. It was 0-0 draw. It was still a really important result as they, had that extra point coming home where they get the 5-1 win. And now it's pretty much like a 99.9% probability that they're going to the World Cup as long as they don't lose by 6 tonight to Costa Rica. It's been an interesting time. And, if that U.S. team still wants to go out and make history, then you go out in the last qualifier playing your best players available, and they have quite a few on the roster right now that could go into Costa Rica and possibly squeak out a win. And I probably wouldn't think that will happen tonight. I would be more along the lines of like a 1-1 draw or a 2-1 win for Costa Rica. But in the grand scheme of things, that does not hurt the U.S. men's national team at all. But that's kind of a very, very quick look at this last qualifying window for the USA. The only other thing you're missing is U.S. MNT Twitter, which is awful all the time awful. It's just god awful. You have your Euro snobs who are complaining about any MLS player, but then those same Euro snobs are like drooling over Brendan Aronson just because he plays at Salzburg now and doesn't play for the Union. So it's like, half of these guys, like Gio Reyna, like everyone loves Gio Reyna. He's an NYCFC Academy product. I know he never played for the first team, but he's brought up there. And,
they forget that bit of detail.
We're maybe a few seasons away from Christian Pulisic and Zach Steffen being part of the Union. Like that, they were very close to being part of the Academy there. So, yeah, so U.S. men's national team Twitter is always fun. And then you have the MLS side of it, where like MLS guys are like, oh, we should play Paul Arriola all the time. And I'm like, there's games where he does need to play. Like he played in the last game against Panama and he scored a pretty good header, which is pretty good for a guy who's like my height, scoring a header. So that's, good on him. Like he probably makes the team. So there you go. But yeah, they're U.S. men's national team Twitter.
Absolutely. I can't wait for that one. I can't wait. Real quick, Doopsburg checking on in. Shouts out to Doopsburg. He's going to be attending his first match this weekend against Charlotte, gentlemen. So make sure hey, Doopsburg, if you see any of these handsome gentlemen, make sure to say hello, please, for myself. Looking forward for UA. Absolutely. I think we all are. And how about the Union teasing us? We'll be talking more about that yesterday, but how dare you Union tease us on Twitter? Thank you so much, AK Gaming. We appreciate that, my man. That was a collective effort. And Nate, listen, this is why we love the listeners. They help us out. They got our backs. We got theirs. And that's
look
the
at
beauty.
It. It's crystal clean now.
Yeah, look at that.
I looked. I was like, the definition's normal. But the finger's like, listen, you can tell. I only use this for podcasting, writing, and D&D. So,
amen. Absolutely. What else do you need? Nate is also agreeing with you, Tim, about USMNT.
Oh God, it's toxic. I stay the hell away during game days.
Yeah,
because it's either the only play the Euro guys and Jordan Morris is trash and Giassi Zardes is trash. Well, that part's true, but
all right, we can agree on that, sure.
And then you have the MLS guys, just like Walker Zimmerman and Miles Robinson, which are right there now.
No, they're the starters though.
But for a while,
they're gonna play in the World Cup.
Atlanta being like, get Miles Robinson in the game. He has to start. It's like, well, no, we had John Brooks, and then John Brooks' play fell off a cliff.
Yeah, he did.
Like now, but like, listen, it's U.S. soccer Twitter is one of the most dysfunctional setups ever.
Yeah,
I stay the hell away, just because I like my sanity. Like I already lose my sanity for a lot of things. US soccer Twitter is not one of them where I want that. I will stay away from that tire fired car crash.
Justin stays away from it on game days, and here I am like doom scrolling the whole game. I'm like, oh, what are people saying now?
Oh, I stay I specifically on U.S. soccer game days. I pretty much mute all my soccer chats. I stay off social media, and regardless of the result, because even on a victory, U.S. soccer Twitter can just be ugly. Like I was watching. I was at Top Tomato for the UAO Philly viewing party on Sunday, which I highly recommend going to Top Tomato if you can. Nice spot, easy to take the train in. Right off of 9th 10th Street.
Yeah.
Which and a very a couple block walk. Solid place, good place. Shout outs to my guys in Keystone State Ultras that I saw at the watch party. It was good to see y'all. I was with my friends Amy and Rich, and it was a fun time. I've never actually been to an AO watch party in the city. If it wasn't a 9:00 game tonight, I thought about taking the train back in. It's a 15-minute train ride at that. I'm right near Woodcrest, but no, I will comfortably grab a couple beers from my beer fridge and watch the game from the comfort of my couch.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So real quick, I wanted to kind of get to know a little bit about Costa Rica. I haven't watched them in a couple of years, and now I have a Costa Rica kit as well in my closet. So my girl is actually thinking about wearing this. But what can you guys tell me of Costa Rica as far as how they've been set up so far in 2022?
So that's been interesting because, to be honest, the first half of this qualifying cycle, they've been kind of bad. Yeah. I mean, overall in qualifying, what, Tim? I believe they scored 11 goals in total. So. But the last 6 games, they have 5 wins and 1 draw.
Yeah.
So they do have. I mean, listen, you're anchored by, I think, one of the most underrated goalies, and the goalie in Champions League that gets shit on the most, even though he helped them win several Champions League titles. Keylor Navas. I mean, he's an amazing goalie, like it or not.
Yes.
In CONCACAF, it's Keylor Navas. I was gonna say Maxime Crépeau, but now it's
Andre Blake.
Andre Blake, and I'd say either Zach Steffen or Matt Turner to make, like, you have.
You gotta throw the Canadian keeper in there though, Bourgeon, right now. He's what I said. Like,
he
wears gray sweatpants. He wears gray sweatpants in games, and he's
he's one of those.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he is. He is, like, if you saw, what was it, the Hungarian keeper? He used to play in the Premier League and in Euros. He that's the trust me, I respect it. He's a ball. He's a fellow ball.
Yeah, he's a fellow ball.
I respect the sweatshirt game.
So how do you feel about the cap? The goalie with wearing like the baseball cap. I haven't seen that in a while. I think Pickford.
I think at the time when in that game it was a pretty bright. I think he was. But no. Listen. I think Keylor Navas doesn't get a lot of respect around. I think more around playing for club than country. I think in terms of country, I think in CONCACAF everyone knows how good of a keeper he is. The back line has kind of seen a bit of a reshuffle. You still have Ronald Matarrita, who I don't really love, and that's still back to that red card he had on El Seno a few years back. I don't believe Kendall Waston, is he still playing?
He's still playing. He was he played in their last game against.
Wow, that is he's what, 38, 39 at this point? He's
well, I don't know if he's that old. He still plays for Saprissa. So
yeah, that I know they've been. I think Brian Ruiz is still kicking around a bit. I know they haven't been relying on Ruiz as much.
He's been more of a bench option. They'll bring him off if they really need a goal, and he's scored a few times when that's happened. So they kind of use him as almost an El Seno role, but not.
Which I think at this point in his career, I think is smart.
Yeah.
I know. I believe it was what was it? Correct me if I'm Celso Borges. I believe the young midfielder forward that's been scoring a lot of their goals lately. He appears to be a pretty good young talent.
Mhm.
I think the thing with Costa Rica is they're not going to blow anyone out of the water.
No.
They're going to grind out 1-0, 2-1.
Mhm.
They're grinding out really tight results. And I think the fact that regardless of results, they're going to have a chance to qualify for the World Cup, because
Yeah.
even if they don't win, or if they lose or draw, they they lose or draw, they're still in the playoff
Yeah.
spot against the Oceania team in
New
the
Zealand.
playoff final in June in Qatar.
Yep.
So
New Zealand
either
won.
way, they get a chance. Like, that's the thing. A lot of Costa Rica fans that I've seen on Twitter are just happy that they're even in this
Shouts out
position.
to Uni Costa Rica.
Like that's the thing. They're in this position, and I think if you had said that to them in the first half of this qualifying, of the Hex, I think they would have looked at you crazy because they were not playing well.
Yeah.
And so to be on this run of form has been huge.
Yeah, literally in the first half of the games, they had 6 points from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches, 6 matches. So the other half, like Justin said, they've been on a little bit of a streak. And like Justin said too, they're not going to blow teams away. They play with a back five, I think it is. They play a 5-4-1. So the lone striker is Joel Campbell, who we know from MLS a little bit, older guy there, but he's still scoring goals. And they look to kind of make it hard for teams to break them down and then counter. So tonight for the U.S. team that really does like to play with possession, it's really going to, I think, come down to who's in the two attacking midfielder spots. Well, I assume it's going to be Yunus Musa, and then I would really love to see Gio Reyna central. I don't know if it's going to happen, but you have to play him there at some point to see if he can either combine with Pulisic or Weah on the outside.
Do you think? And call me crazy on this. Do you think it could be possible now, by the time we start talking to Leon, the lineup will probably be out?
Yeah,
do you think I could see a midfield? It would be a bit of a toss up of Tyler Adams, Luca De La Torre, and Gio Reyna.
I would be down for that.
I think Luca De La Torre did a lot to wander inclusion, and if you are going to play Gio in the midfield, which I think in the centrally, he said he does prefer that.
Yeah.
And he'd be playing centrally at Dortmund if it weren't for Marco Reus. Let's be honest. Like, that's the only reason he's not playing centrally there.
Yeah.
I would think that'd be a pretty solid midfield because Luca and Tyler are just really going to let Gio do his thing creatively, and they'll clean up all the crap that comes in behind, and letting Gio do what he does best, which is, as you saw in the run against Mexico, where he slalomed through everybody, and my goodness, and so which we speak of that PFOC chance. I actually did take a look at that again. His foot did get kicked, so it would now a better striker would have gotten in position probably quicker, but I can understand why it
to infuriate you, Justin. I feel like if that ball was played to Jesus Ferreira, he might have scored.
Shot it. No, we are
not.
He
would have done it. I don't know.
No. He got lucky on a deflection. All right, he was in the right place, but he got lucky on a deflection.
That's fair.
Tim, thoughts on this question?
Listen, he did it for a really good cause, and I will say, for someone who had scored his second goal and was going to go on to score a hat trick in a must-win game, not going all out on a worm celebration is probably the best call, because if you haven't done it before, you might pull a muscle or something, and you can't be injuring yourself on celebrations. So I appreciated it.
Listen, I'd rather that and not like a Martin Gramatica where he jumps in the air and lands and
no
Martin Gramatica.
Yeah, talk about a throwback reference for some of you youngins might not understand.
The Grammatical Brothers. The
Yeah.
Grammatical Brothers,
Oof.
man.
They killed it. Always.
Nate chimes in and liked it 7 out of 10. The effort was there. Execution.
Yeah, the effort was there. It wasn't a great worm. It was
But listen, if he's never done it before, you can't have a great worm.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know what that gritty was.
Other than the gritty, yeah, that's true.
yeah.
That is
That
true.
was
He did the double. He did like the 2-step gritty. He did the 1, 2, and he was like, "All right,
See, you got it now.
You got to start the arms early on it. That's my. You got to start the arms early.
You got to start the arms early, and you gotta let that back foot drag. You gotta let that back foot drag a bit.
Put a little stanky leg in it. Is that what we're
exactly? Start pretending to do the stanky leg, but just don't plan it. Just leave it with a little dangle.
We'll have to do a Dupe by the River gritty challenge. We'll put that online as well. But ladies and
That'll
gentlemen,
go viral for all the wrong reasons.
But ladies and gentlemen, as we mentioned at the top of this, the moment we've been waiting for, the special edition of the podcast, we want to bring them on now. Your favorite midfielder as of right now. Wait till the game day. But please welcome Mr. Leon Flach to Dupe by the River. Leon, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
We're doing great, man. We're doing great. Thank you so much for coming on in, Leon. Obviously, getting into the gist of the season's getting in the busy time, so we appreciate you taking some time, Leon.
No problem. Always.
Absolutely. So, Leon, I kind of wanted to ask you first, man. Obviously, you've been here since last year. You got yourself acclimated and used to the team that you're playing with, but the city that you're playing for, have you gotten comfortable in Philadelphia yet? Have you gotten accustomed to it all?
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Right now, it's also maybe a bit easier because I'm 21, so I have maybe more opportunities. No, but I also live in the city, which makes it like a bit easier to also experience the city. And when my parents are over, also my friends, I try to do a lot of them because I think it's always nicer to do it with somebody else than instead of doing it alone. So no, I really enjoy my time here in Philly because you also have like I said, a lot of opportunities to do during your free time. So no, it's a pretty nice city.
Absolutely. We love that. I mean, a lot of us here are Philly sports fans or Philadelphia Union fans, so we like to see our athletes, enjoying our city because we love it too. So we appreciate you find it. So let me ask you. So what kind of place? You don't have to tell us exactly, but what kind of places do you like going out to? Are you more restaurant guy, bar guy, tapas?
Yeah, I actually have a really good tapas restaurant. I think it's on the Broad Street, and also a good steak restaurant where I always go when my parents are here. Unfortunately, I wasn't in a bar or a club yet here, if I'm honest, because I just became 21. So I will definitely try that at one point, hopefully after a win. But
after we win MLS Cup, that's
there you go.
Yeah, for sure. That would be definitely a good reason to celebrate.
Absolutely. Before we get into the Union side, I wanted to, because we do have a lot of listeners who are Bundesliga, German soccer fans. You come from, in my opinion, a club that played in one of the best underrated derbies in the world with St. Pauli and Hamburg. I was wondering, if you had any stories and your thoughts on the derby, anything cool you can let the fans know about it.
Yeah, I actually experienced, I think it was one because it was in my first season, and then we went to the stadium of Hamburg, like HSV, and it was a pretty nice experience because there were a lot of fans waiting with bengalos, guiding us to the stadium. But unfortunately, I think there were just like 5,000 fans allowed because of COVID. But I think the atmosphere was still one of the best I have ever experienced. So it was crazy. I think we draw, I think 1-1, but the whole experience, like just going to the stadium, experience the atmosphere. And I also played like the last, I think 10 minutes, which was, really, really special for me. So no, I think it definitely, like you said, a really underrated derby because the fan cultures of both clubs, is really, really good. So no, it's a really, really nice derby.
Awesome stuff. Tim, take it away, brother.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, Leon, just to start off. I mean, we were talking a little bit, about you and how you kind of came right into this club last year, right when they were getting ready to go into an experience they haven't had before in CONCACAF Champions League. So I just wanted to start off by asking, how was that experience, like coming in and starting right away in a game that this club has never experienced before?
Yeah, definitely special because, like I said, I think I was here 2 weeks before our first game, which was the Champions League game, and then I I think I couldn't train for like 2 to 3 days because they had to do some contract stuff. But sometimes it's also good if you don't have much time to think about maybe the new situation and just have to perform and just to play. I think that was my advantage because I really enjoyed everything since the first moment, but it was also like a new experience because I have never started on a professional level before. Different country, different culture, different players, also maybe a bit different play style, but honestly, I've enjoyed everything since the first moment. So no, it was pretty nice. And it was a different experience this year because I had the whole preseason, but I mean, last year was almost perfect. So no, it was a really, really good year for me individually, but I think also for us as a team.
We got some of the fans in the chat right now. Raul's got some great words. Leon, you are a machine. Thank you for your hard work. Shouts out to Raul Leon. Leon's his last name. So there you go. There you go.
That sounds good. Good name.
Justin, what about you, my man?
So Leon, 2021 definitely must have been a crazy year for you to go from, starting to make appearances, for St. Pauli and scoring your first professional goal against the German club that I root for, Greutherfurt, with a banger of a goal.
Yeah,
and then
it was not bad.
Coming right into the team. How was it because that was a whirlwind of 3 to 4 months. What was it like going from scoring your first professional goal and starting to get some real minutes to coming to a different country and having to quickly learn a very different playing style?
Yeah, like you said, the last year started, like I would say, in a perfect way. I scored my first goal, also played, I think, 8 or 9 games in a row. And then I also experienced like one of the lows in soccer because sometimes it can change really quick. I think we got like 2 or 3 older players in the end of the first transfer window. And we also played against the relegation. And in Germany, sometimes because you have this kind of system, the coach isn't playing sometimes maybe the best, or I don't know, the young guys, because he prefers maybe experienced guys, because if they make a mistake, they will get the blame from the media and everybody else. But if a young guy will make a mistake, which maybe leads to a goal, it's the coach who gave him the start and is maybe also reasonable for the mistake. So I was then suddenly left out of the squad, and I said to myself, I don't want to accept that, because I thought that I'm maybe better than just come to training and train every week, but don't play. So I said to myself, this opportunity with Philadelphia could be maybe the one step I need right now. And in the end, it was perfect. We played really good, I think, especially in the first start of the season. I think we had like a little bit of a low during the summer because also of the weather and how we play. That's not always the best combination, honestly. But I think we did a really, really good job, because nobody maybe was expecting us to be successful in the first part of the season, because we had Champions League and also like good league games at the same time. And to travel from maybe Costa Rica back to the USA and then to Atlanta within like almost 2 or 3 days, it's a really hard part, which is not often seen by like people from the outside. So I think we did a really good job there. It was all the experience I made playing in the Club America Stadium, or also playing in Costa Rica, or just have the possibility to play against guys like Matuidi or Green. I think everything went really fast, but I enjoyed every moment. And sometimes you just decide to do like maybe this one step in a really maybe different direction than everybody expected it. But I think the right step is sometimes maybe a different step, which is not expected by everybody.
Man, the MLS players truly are honestly really underappreciated. Like, you got to think about, you got to play at the highest level, traveling from Philly to LA, Philly to Mexico, Philly to Costa Rica. Oh my God, you guys really deserve some more credit for sure. Man. Leo, let me go ahead.
Also, like you said, I think that will come up in May when we have to travel to Portland, back to somewhere else, then to LA. I think we have like 4 games in like 2 weeks, and then you also have the time difference and like the long travel distance. And in Germany, you would never have like time difference, or also maybe like you have a 1 hour flight, but that's it.
Absolutely, man. That's definitely great over there for sure. Leon, I wanted to ask you real quick. You do a lot of running on the pitch, man. When you're out there playing, man, you do a hell of a lot of running, my man.
Yeah.
And Leon, a lot of people don't know, like, you are pretty, versatile. You can play in different positions on the pitch as well. I want to ask you, where you personally, and in all honesty, where do you feel most comfortable on the pitch at what position?
I would say in this system, when we play like we play right now, it's the 8, because like I can run wherever I want to press people, and I don't have like this one position, because if you play at the 6 at this system, you have to hold the position, because otherwise your back four is exposed. And no, I really enjoy to have also the connection between the left back and the 8, especially when you have to defend. And in our case, it's Kai and me. We speak the same language, but we also know what the other one is doing. So no, right now I would definitely say it's 8. I would say me and Ali, we played like differently, because I think he's like maybe more like a 10 in our system, like going forward, and I share maybe my job with Jose sometimes. But I think how we play right now is maybe the perfect mix in our diamond. I think the results also show that. So no, I think right now it's definitely the 8. But I think if you play with wingers or with maybe 2 6s, that would be maybe the 6, because that's how I grew up. But in this system, I definitely like the 8.
Leon, you speak of the connection between you and Jose. How is it playing with a guy like him? You both are very vocal, very animated on the pitch, and so how is it? Who has to rein in who? In terms of the personality, because you're whenever I see a foul called, it's either you or Jose in just getting very, very animated. And I love that in all of our midfield, especially between you, Jose, Ali, and Daniel. All of you
God, Ali.
have no Ali, we all know of all people. It has no problem getting in someone's face. So how is it with all these personalities in the midfield? Really?
Yeah, no, I mean it's great, because you have somebody with Jose who is really emotional. The thing is, sometimes I think the refs, they handle him maybe, for me, a bad way, because they give him yellow cards sometimes without any reason. But
we call it Diego Chara in this league.
Yeah, he's really emotional, but I think that's maybe one of his strengths, being emotional, giving always 100%. And I really like those players. But the same with Ellie. And I think if Ellie gets angry, you don't want to be the guy who is getting yelled at.
No.
But also Daniel, you don't expect him to be maybe like somebody who's saying bad words or getting emotional. But I think
trust me, that's been clipped. And
he's from the east of Europe. Yeah. People from the east of Europe, sometimes they look really cool, but if they get angry, you don't want to be the person next to them. But no, I think the chemistry between all of us is really, really good. I think we know to handle each other and what maybe is the strength of each other, but also the weakness. So I think we really know what the other is capable of doing. And I think in this system, it's really important to know that, because we have 4 midfielders who have to work together, who have to press together. But no, I would say we are definitely on a really good way right now.
Well, so Leon, I do have to ask, because we're talking about passionate people. You talking about don't want to be on the other side of someone being angry. Where were you in Yankee Stadium? Was it 2 weeks now? During the second half, during the whole scrum, you got Sergio with Tati Castellanos, Tati with Andre Blake. Where were you in the midst of all that in the second half?
First, I think somewhere in the middle, next to Kai and I think Dre. But I also were looking for Jose, because I already knew that he was coming. Sometimes you also hear him coming, but I knew he will come. Definitely, but I think Jacob already grabbed him before he could do something.
What's an iconic
I
moment?
love that.
That or the face, the meme seen around the world, with him and with Higuain at 20 times. I mean, listen, there with Union moments, I think Brujo is definitely top of the list for
you always know that
those moments, just because such an expressive man, and it's just perfect for various moments, just to capture all the emotions all at once.
Yeah, but I think it's also like typical for South Americans to be like really emotional on the pitch. You could say maybe that sometimes they are maybe too emotional, but I think that's one of his strengths. And I think he shouldn't stop what he's doing. Maybe sometimes in a bit more clever way, but I think that's how it is.
Yeah.
And I like him how he is, so I think he's doing it in a good way and shouldn't stop how he is.
So Leon, you mentioned the chemistry that this midfield has going, and we've really seen the chemistry honestly throughout the whole team in these first 4 games in this season. And the team's in first place right now, sitting on 10 points, and we all know how last year went and the success that it was, and how it just fell just a little short. So I mean, we got to ask, like, what's the goal of this team this year? Is it really, win MLS Cup? Is that something you think is attainable for this club and the way you guys are playing together?
Yeah, I mean, if you saw last year and how it ended, I think that was probably the worst way how it could end, honestly, because we didn't lose because we were not good enough. We lost at a battle we couldn't win.
Yeah.
But I think we still did a really good job fighting like how we did, and also like leading for a few minutes. And I think we were also maybe not the better team, but we were definitely capable of beating them. And in the end, it was just unlucky. But I think definitely if you like had the experience like we had in the playoffs, it's definitely the goal to have the cup in your hands in the end and win the whole thing. And that's definitely the goal. I think we also have something like the cup here, like you have in Germany. So
US
I think
Open Cup. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, every chance to win something should be important to a team. So I think we definitely want to win that as well. That should be the goal. I don't know how the system is here, honestly, but I think if you have a chance to win something, you should go for it. But it's definitely the big goal to win the MLS Cup this year, and I think we are all down for it.
Well, Leon, whenever you want, Justin knows everything about the U.S. Open Cup. He binge watches it like it's Netflix. Like, yeah, that's your guy.
Yeah, listen. Right now, it's all the lower league teams. There's kind of controversy with, I think with the Westchester the Westchester United and was it FC Motown? I think it was an illegal substitution. So they're replaying the game. The whole craziness. I know MLS teams don't get in. Was in 3rd or 4th round. So there's always a bit, but Leon, I want to speak on a personal level. Last year, I'm not sure how much you follow social media chatter about certain things, but your name was being floated around for the Gold Cup roster in 2021, and I think you had a pretty good case for it, and I know you have represented Germany and the U.S. on the youth levels. Did you hear any of this chatter? And what did you think? Because you said you have represented both countries, and it's with national team play. I mean, that's for a player who was in his first half of his first season with the team to already be included in potentially a Gold Cup roster was pretty big, at least for us Union fans.
Yeah, no. I definitely heard it because I got the invitation and stuff like this. But it was really nice just to experience something like this because it was a new situation for me. But I really enjoyed it. But in the end, I can't influence some things like the process of being selected or being not selected. And then, for example, last year in December, we were still in the playoffs when they had the friendly, where also the discussion was if I maybe go there or not. But I think it's just nice to be named in the circle. But in the end, I just have to perform on the club level, and the rest will come because that's actually the place where you have to recommend yourself to different, maybe missions or like the national team. But for sure, I heard it and I've really enjoyed it. But in the end, if you play good with your club, the rest will follow automatically. And I mean, I'm still young. I still have hopefully a lot of years of playing in front of me. So never say never. And we will definitely see in which direction it goes. But like you said, I played for Germany in the youth, but also for America. So I won't close any door. And we will see what happens in the future. And I think that's the best way to do it.
All right. Well, we do have a comment here in the comment section. It's a very interesting one. Leon, what teammate makes you laugh the most? In that dressing room?
I would say, that's good. I would say, Sergio is definitely one of those guys. He's always coming in with he's always coming in with a smile.
I love that.
I mean, he's such a positive guy, but I think our locker room at all is really, really a positive locker room. I think you can see that also on the pitch. think that's also important. Yeah, we are a really, really good group, and I enjoy really to go to training and to spend my time with those guys because they are all great guys. And yeah, but if you're looking for maybe a good moment, then Sergio is definitely the right guy.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, I've
Tim,
seen that
Tim, you
with
got
his mic with his mic'd up stuff. That's definitely fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, another question for yourself is, you're 21, like you said, but you're kind of almost seen as like a veteran with some of these, teenage players coming up. So how's that experience been where, you're a young guy yourself and, getting into a new club last year with the Union, but seeing how their culture is bringing youth players up and like, did you have to be called on to be a little bit of a mentor to some of these kids, or do you look to kind of, have that role while other players on the club who are more veteran players are, mentoring you as well? Like how does that dynamic work?
Yeah, like you said, it's a different mix because I just had my 21 birthday, and like you said, I was 20 last year, playing my first season. But I think I played actually the most games because Jacob couldn't play in the last game, so I played almost like 40 games. I think 37 starts. It's something, it's a great achievement, and I've enjoyed every moment. So sometimes I definitely try to maybe help the young guys. Also, maybe when Nathan had his first start, maybe I just went to him and said, "You can't lose anything. You're a great guy. I know what you're capable of doing," and I think he's showing that to everybody right now. But also to Paxton, Jack, and Quinn. It's difficult sometimes because they are, like, I would say, even better in some things than I am. But I try to do the most of everything. But if they ask me, I will definitely try to help them. But it's also nice for me because I'm also like in a situation that I can look at like the players in our team, like Ellie, also Kai, Jacob, Jack Elliott, who always help me or are helping me. So I'm in a good position. I can help, but I also need some help in some certain situations.
Sure.
But I think that's a good mix right now. So no, I'm definitely happy where I am in the team.
Absolutely. Real quick, I wanted to ask you. So before you got here, I think a couple months before we sold Brendan Aronson, club record fee, and I think a little before that we sold Mark McKenzie. Were you aware of those sales, and did that influence you wanting to come to Philadelphia as well?
Yeah, because I followed Philly actually like a bit before, because there was always like some contact after my U20 national team camp. So I was just interested in how they do, and I think I also watched like 1 or 2 games of the I don't know how it's called, but I would say now COVID Cup.
Yeah.
In
I
the bubble.
I like that.
Yeah. So no, it was definitely one of the big arguments when I said to myself, maybe that is like the right step, because I saw that young players got a chance to play, develop themselves, and then made the next step, like Brandon and Mark did. So that was definitely a really big argument, and that was also something Ernst told me. If you're doing a good job here, there won't be opportunities maybe for you to go back to Europe, which is, I think, the ultimate goal for everybody playing maybe in the league and is in a young age. So that was definitely a reason, and I followed the progress of Philly really close. And that made it also a bit easier for me maybe to settle down, because I know how they played. I knew some guys, maybe just from the TV, but maybe, for example, Nate. But now that made it for sure a bit easier for me, and was one of the main arguments for me to come to Philly, to see that development and progress.
Absolutely. Justin, you got any more questions there for Leon?
Yeah, this one's more of just a general question. So, like I said, you're a young guy, but you're also a recent transplant to the city. Have you done any of the quote unquote touristy things in the city, like running up the art museum steps and doing the Rocky pose, or going for a cheesesteak at Gino's or Pat's? There's a laundry list of kind of touristy things that some new players to the city like to check off to say that they've done it while they've been in Philadelphia.
Yeah, for sure. I was at the Rocky Steps. I think you have to do it immediately. And everybody who came to my place wanted to go there. So I was directly going there. I was actually also in the museum, like in one museum. And then I also took the tourist bus with my mom just to drive around the city to see some things. Sometimes it's maybe the easiest way to do it. And I was also in the zoo, like I think also already 2 or 3 times, because it's sometimes just nice just to see some nice things there. But yeah, maybe I have to do a little bit more this summer. But yeah, we will see.
What about you, Tim?
No, I mean, you guys took all the rest of my questions already, which I appreciate. But yeah, like just to piggyback off Justin's, like, have you tried a cheesesteak yet? I know you didn't mention a place, but have you tried one yet?
No, honestly,
No?
that's definitely something I will do because
I
my
noticed
mom.
you ducked the question when they asked all the players at practice. I noticed you ducked behind Jakob.
Yeah, I
and
also didn't know what they want from me because I have never heard about it.
That's fair.
But because they were like, I think one thing I have never heard about it, so I didn't want to say something wrong. But no, I will definitely try it because my mom is also saying that she wants to try one, so we will definitely try one together.
We got to try that, man. I want to ask you. We love Jim Curtin on this podcast here. To see where he's come from through the ranks of the Philadelphia Union as a manager, and to see what he's doing now, it's truly spectacular. What can you attribute to your game from Jim Curtin? What do you kind of learn? How's he helped you grow as a player?
A lot. I mean, it starts with giving a young player a chance who hasn't started a game before, and then also giving me the trust maybe when I had maybe not a great game, but also like I think the little things to give me some freedom when I needed to get, and yeah, just how he is like so nice for a player because you always feel trusted. You have the feeling that there's somebody who really cares about you as a player, but also as a person. I think that's also really important in the soccer business, and I think not every coach is doing that. I think he has a really good relationship with the team, and is also asking the team maybe what's maybe sometimes the best thing to do on the pitch. And no, I think he's a great coach with also a big future because I don't think that his career ends in the MLS.
Yes, there you go, Leon. Yes.
So no, we will definitely see where it goes. But I really enjoy to work with him because, like I said, he's a great person who's also like really caring about the player, but also the person behind. And also as a coach, I mean, he's a really good coach because he's also adapting our plan sometimes on the opponent we play, and always I think in a really good way. So no, he's a really good coach who is giving like young players a chance to show what they're capable of, which is also not normal. So no, I'm really thankful that he's my coach, and I really enjoy to work with him. But that is also the case for like the rest of the coaching stuff because I think they all do a really good job, and yeah, I'm just happy to work with them, honestly.
Absolutely. That they're doing a great job as well. One final question before we let you go. Obviously, you guys are back at it this upcoming Saturday against Charlotte FC. First timers, obviously, first season in the MLS. What are you looking forward to with this matchup here against Charlotte? What are you looking at there?
I mean, it will be definitely an interesting one because you haven't played them before. And I think they said maybe in the beginning of the season that they are, I don't know, not in a good shape right now. But I think if you saw the last 2 games where they won against New England and also against Cincinnati, I think they are definitely capable of doing a lot of good things. And we definitely want to win the game because, first of all, it's a home game. And I think if you have a home game, it's like the minimum to say that we want to win the game. And I think we just want to continue our really good start into the season. And yeah, with our fans behind us, I think we are on a really good way, and we're really looking forward playing Charlotte on Saturday and hopefully getting the 3 points.
Hopefully, absolutely. Well, Leon, listen, we appreciate your time here. It's a busy week for an MLS player, besides all the traveling, of course, but we really appreciate you taking some time out here, man. And best of luck in the regular season, Leon.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
See
you. Ladies
Bye.
and gentlemen, that was Leon Flach, your shuttle midfielder here for the Philadelphia Union. That's going to do it for today's episode of DOOP by the River. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be back at it tomorrow, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We'll be doing our Charlotte preview. Should be a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Tim Lovinguth. That is Justin, your Sporting Saratoga #1 goalkeeper. And of course, I'm El Parcero Philly, and we're telling you guys to DOOP on. Talk to you guys tomorrow.
DOOP by the river.
doesn't do anything well. There is not one.
I'm sorry. There was no creativity.
As a Union fan, I take that all day.
Another DP. We need to go get Mario Balotelli.